What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference YouTube channel. My name is Jay Martin, and in case we haven't met, I am the host of the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference, and I also host another YouTube channel called The Jay Martin Show. But I've actually never hosted much on this channel, the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference YouTube channel. This channel has been hosted largely by one of my co-hosts, the lovely Jesse Day. And so if you're a subscriber, you're familiar with Jesse, an absolutely phenomenal human being and great host, super smart investor, and he's done an amazing job with this channel over the last 12 months. Now, Jesse's not going anywhere, but we are bringing more content to this channel. We're going to be launching a few new shows over the next couple of months, all focused on junior mining investment. And today I'm here to announce the first of these shows, which is my show. It's called This Week in Mining, every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific time or 5 p.m. Eastern. We are going to be going live right here on the channel so you can engage with myself and my guests right here and dive into junior mining investment portfolios. So if you're not familiar with me or have no idea who I am, I'm a 15-year commodity investor, and I'm the host of the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference, held every year in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia, where we have about 9,000 junior mining investors that attend each year. I also host another YouTube channel called The Jay Martin Show, where we talk macro finance, geopolitics, and the commodity sector. And I teach a 10-chapter course for new commodity investors called the Commodity University. So why am I launching another show right here on the VRIC YouTube channel? Well, I'm doing this because, quite frankly, I think we are set up for a historic decade in the commodity sector. And this show will be the central source of information and study for my portfolio strategy. It's going to be a place where myself and other investors from the sector can stress test our best ideas and discuss where we are allocating capital. And so what can you, as the viewer, expect if you show up live with us every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific or 5 p.m. Eastern? You could expect weekly sit-downs with the greatest minds in the junior mining business, individuals like Rick Rule, Eric Sprott, Frank Justra, Peter Schiff, and many, many more. You know, through my conference business and my other podcasts, I have an amazing Rolodex of personalities in the junior mining sector. So I encourage you, if there's any names, any people that you would love to have on this show so that you can ask them your questions directly in the live chat, just pop them in there in the comments, in the chat, wherever. And there's almost nobody that I can't get in this business. I've been in it 15 years through the conference business and the podcast. I have an amazing network. I've been very blessed and good relationships with tons of folks. So if it's anybody that you're like, I'd love to get questions in front of XYZ, just let me know who XYZ is and I'll rope them in for you. So if you haven't already, do me a favor and hit subscribe, turn on notifications so that you never miss a notification when we're about to go live. Doesn't mean you have to show up every Wednesday, but you don't want to miss it, right? Just in case you're available. So hit subscribe, turn on notifications. I'd love to have you join us every Wednesday. I'm very excited about this new project. And why? Why should you tune in every Wednesday here on the VRIC YouTube channel? Look, if you want to improve your mining investment portfolio, then this is going to be the place to do it. Every Wednesday, I'm here to answer questions. I've been in this business 15 years. I teach the Commodity University, and I've got tons of amazing guests that are going to be joining me here on this show. So let's ride this market together, right? Come and bring your best ideas, ask your best questions, and me and my guests will cover it all in the metals and mining market. Now, my investment approach is pretty simple. I'm a long-term value investor. So I don't try to time markets, right? What I do is I identify assets or industries that are cheap relative to their historic cyclical pricing, and I buy those things. And then I sell those things when they become expensive relative to their historic cyclical pricing. And that is what all of my mentors in this business have done, right? What the greatest investors, the greatest long-term value investors in the world have done. And this can be a really volatile industry for anybody who's, if you've been investing in the junior mining industry for 6 months or 16 years, you understand this is a very unpredictable, volatile sector. And so There's power in building your portfolio with a community. And that's the real mission behind this show, is that we're here to gather every Wednesday at 2 o'clock. We're doing it live for that reason. There's obviously some technical considerations and complications going live, but it's worth it because I know how hard it is to win in this business, right? And to stomach the losses, like to stomach the volatility, right? I mean, let me share a quick example with you. So one of my mentors in this business and someone who's going to be joining me on this show in a couple of weeks is VRIC Rule. If you've been in this business for at least a year or two, you probably know who VRIC Rule is. He's one of the most successful investors in the junior mining sector ever. And you probably also know the name Ross Beatty. Ross Beatty is arguably the most successful mining entrepreneur ever. He has founded 15 companies, and all 15 eventually generated a 10x return for his shareholders. Now, here's why this is interesting, because VRIC Rule has been an investor in at least 7 of Ross's companies and realized that 10x return, right? But before he realized the 10x return on his position in Ross's company, each time, every single time, and he said this numerous times on my stage, he realized a 70% drawdown first, right? So before he saw the 10-bagger, he saw a 70% correction in the stock from the price that he bought it. So I mentioned this story because, look, if this is what happens to VRIC Rule and Ross Beatty, they have to go through 70% drawdowns prior to getting the win, then what makes you think you're going to be able to avoid that? What makes me think I'm going to be able to avoid that, right? As I said, my mission as an investor isn't to time markets. It's to identify when things are cheaper than they are typically, right? And then sell those things when they're more expensive than they are typically. But identifying something that's cheap is not the same as calling the bottom. And a lot of investors make that mistake. They say, because this has come off 80% from its price, it must be the bottom. But things can go lower, as any veteran junior mining or venture stock investor knows. And so that is why we always come back to the importance of time horizon in this business, right? If you have high conviction in your time horizon, it gives you a lot more stones to weather that short-term volatility, right? If I'm entering an early stage silver company because I think silver's got a great 5-6 years ahead of it, and so my time horizon for this stock is 3 to 5 years, then what do I care about quarter-over-quarter volatility, right? 6 months after I bought it, it's down 20%. Well, I can revisit my thesis, revisit the fundamentals of the company, ask myself critical questions, share that idea with other people who are smarter than me and been in this business longer than I have. And if I come away from all that conversation and say, you know what, nothing's changed, I still believe I'm right, the stock just went lower before I believe it's going to go higher. Now I can choose to dollar cost average down or just ride it out. But having conviction in your time horizon is so important because so many people think they're going to beat the volatility, and you can't beat the volatility. You got to weather it, right? And one way to weather it is to have very clear parameters around your investment time horizon. So once again, if you're not a subscriber, I'd love you to join us here on the VRIC YouTube channel every Wednesday. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications. We're going to be here every Wednesday covering the gold sector, covering the silver sector, the copper sector, the uranium sector. I mean, I'm very exposed to gold and silver in my portfolio. What a lot of my viewers and readers don't know is that my single biggest position is actually in an early stage uranium company. And I'd love to share that story with you another time. But I'm very excited to launch this show. I'm going to have an amazing roster of guests and friends join me here every Wednesday to just ham it up and chat, talk shop about the junior mining sector. Here's why I think you should join us every Wednesday, all right? If you're building a portfolio in the mining and metals sector, why do it alone, right? Let's do this together. Join myself and dozens of other experts in the commodity sector every Wednesday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Hit us up in the live chat, whatever questions you got. Every Wednesday, we'll be right here. All right. Thank you so much for your time today. I hope you'll join us on Wednesday and every other Wednesday after that. I appreciate you, and we'll see you on Wednesday. All right. Bye-bye.